In this video, you'll learn how to turn a simple manga panel into a 3D scene with realistic depth and smooth camera movements, like this. And the best part, it's all done inside of DaVinci Resolve. No external software or websites required. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to come to effects and grab our fusion composition. And you can just delete the image here. And then you actually gotta decide how long the animation will be. I'm just gonna choose 3 seconds, but you can always change this later if you suddenly decide I want a longer animation. Then open up the fusion composition, go to your media pool, and then obviously grab your image and drag it into the media out. Now we have our workspace here. But before we start actually creating our 3D environment, we first need to cut out Gon so we can use him as our 3D character. So basically what I want is a separation between Gon and the background. There needs to be actual space in between these, because right now it's just completely 2D. So to do that, we need our polygon node, and don't actually connect it yet, because look, if we do that, we can't see what we're working with. So go ahead and disconnect that, and then we're gonna start drawing. And I'll probably just speed this up so you don't have to watch me drawing around Gon here. And just a quick tip, if you hold down Control on your keyboard, you can use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and this is really neat when you want to work with polygons like this. And that's it, boom. Make sure to connect the polygon node with the start of your polygon. Now we can drag the polygon into our image here, and then we have Gon. Looks pretty damn good. And what I like to do is just drag up the soft edge a little bit, because that's gonna make sure that the imperfections we made aren't as visible. Next thing that we wanna do is export the character. So obviously to export the image, just come to deliver over here, and let's just call it Gon transparent, and then set QuickTime to PNG so we get an image, not a video. Really important step, make sure that you click on export alpha down here. And then the last step is just to make it 1 frame, otherwise you're gonna get a whole bunch of images. Add render to queue and render all. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on my background. So click on your polygon and then click invert up here. And now we need to actually fill in the background here. And the way we do that is with the paint node. So you can find the paint node out here, drag in the paint node, and then connect it to your composition. So in my case, this is actually gonna be pretty easy to paint because this is just white. So I'm just gonna copy this color of white, and now I can draw with white and fill this in. But before we go any further, make sure that you have it set to stroke mode, because look at this, the thing that I just colored was just colored in 1 frame. So if you want the color across the entire timeline, make sure you have it set to stroke. And now here in the brush controls, I'm just gonna turn up the size and the softness down, and then I can just draw this over pretty quickly. Alright, now our background is done. Now I'm actually also going to export the background. Boom, Gon background, and then add render to queue, render. Go back into the fusion page, let's drag in our Gon background. And now as you can see, we have our Gon background here, and we also have our Gon character. So now it's actually 2 separate entities. And this is the point where you can turn it into a 3D environment. To do that, let's just deconnect everything here. And if you've never worked with 3D before, it's not that hard. You can see all of the 3D elements that we need over here in the right hand side. So first grab a render 3D and connect the render 3D to the media out. Make sure that the render is set from software render to hardware render. Don't ask me why, I've just always done this and the rendering has been better. Next grab a merge 3D and connect that to the render, then grab a camera 3D and connect that to the merge, and lastly grab a image plane 3D and connect that to the merge 3D. And we actually need 2 image planes, so you might as well do that right off the bat. Okay, let me just real quick go over what these nodes do for the people who don't know. So the merge 3D, go ahead and click on that and click 1, and then bring in the other viewer here. This is our merge environment. So as you can see right now, we have a camera here, and we have our image planes here. The image planes are the white squares right here. So just think of the merge 3D as the environment that everything has to connect to. This is the environment. The camera is what we're really gonna need here. As you can see, I can move my camera around, and as I move my camera back, this square right here become smaller. So with the camera, this is how I'm gonna control what I'm looking at in my 3D environment. And the image planes are basically just stuff that you can connect what we just made to. So for example, if I connect Gone to an image plane, we're gonna turn that image plane into Gone's character. And now if I take my background and connect that to the image plane, we're gonna get our background here instead of the image plane. Now the smart thing is that we can actually move this image plane and make it look a lot more 3D. So if you click on your image plane and then click on transform, you get a lot of options here. Now the only thing that we're going to be working with today is the Z or C. I don't know what you're saying in English. I think it's actually C axis. We just pull that back. And now if you look at this view over here, you can see that it's already becoming a lot more 3D. But as it is right now, our camera is way too far away. So let me move my camera closer. And ooh, look at that. On the viewer, on the right hand viewer, really 3D. Sorry for the lag. It is probably gonna lag just a little bit in the 3D environment, but that's just how it is, unless you have a really beefy computer. Now let's move on to positioning. So positioning is pretty easy in the 3D environment. All you need to do is, for example, if I click this image plane of my background, I can use these arrows to position my background wherever I want it. So let's say I want it farther back, I can move it farther back, farther forward, I can move it even in front of Gone right here, and I can also make it bigger. If you come into the transform, you can up the scale, make the background bigger, make it smaller, whatever you want. You can also move it up and down with this arrow, and you can do the same thing with the camera. So if I click on my camera, you can see the arrows right here, and I can move the camera in, and it already looks really 3D. I can move the camera up and down and to the side, and you can see that cool 3D effect over there. For me, I'm just gonna make my background a bit bigger and then move Gone down a bit and make him a bit bigger here. And then for my 3D animation, I want to zoom into his face. So how do you actually make the actual animation? Click on the camera 3D, then click on transform, and then you should see all of these keyframes over here. I'm just going to keyframe everything at the start of my timeline so I can work with whatever I want. Then I'm gonna come to the end of my timeline and keyframe everything again. So now we have our start position and our end position. In the translation here, I'm just going to grab the set and move it closer. So now we're adding an animation, and I'm also gonna move the y-axis up so we can see his face a bit better. And as you can see, his hair is cutting off right there. So the way I'm gonna avoid seeing that is to grab the x-axis right here and move it down. And now we should already have pretty smooth animation. So if we come back and play the clip, there we go. Now we can see that we have a nice 3D animation of the camera zooming into Gone. That looks really cool. And there's actually some slight flickering. I wonder if we can see that if we go out here. No, we can't see the flickering, so that's just a tiny bug. Let's see that. Oof. That looks super cool, man.